Hi guys, and welcome back to another video on the channel. And today I'm deep diving Crystal Palace. Now, obviously, some of the ones done before the first week, and some of them are done, which is not a bad thing because it means we can actually go into them and look into them a bit more detail. But yeah, Palace had a tricky game at the weekend. They played Everton away. It was always going to be a tough opening fixture, and unfortunately lost 2-0. I do kind of worry for Palace this year. I don't think it's their strongest year they've had. Um, but I don't think they're gonna be terrible. I just think they're gonna be bottom half. I don't think they're gonna be the best team um, in the division this year. But looking at price, it kind of reflects that. Now, for me, the big news is Ismail Assar says he wants to leave and he wants to go to, I think it's Saudi or somewhere like that. I don't know, but oh no, was his Galatasaray? I think it might be Galatasaray. But anyway, him leaving, big loss. To replace that's gonna be awful. I did hear a rumor that they're trying to bid for Jared Bowen. Now, I don't know if that's true, but that would be well interesting if they get Jared Bowen, and that would potentially be a very good replacement if they can get him in. But looking at everyone else, price are really reasonable. Again, there's still some links around Adam Wharton being such a good player, like an England level player. Like I think there's some links. So yeah, price are actually pretty cheap for Palace. So I think we need to get stuck into it really. So looking at their lineup, this is their. We look at this lineup. It's kind of speaks for itself. So Mateta starting up front, which is really weird because Mateta wanted to leave at the start of the year. Eddie and Nketiah start with McNeil. That's an interesting combination. Obviously, Dwight McNeil, I can see playing them often. Eddie and Nketiah, I'm not too sure. This is kind of been the same four as it was last year, and then this is kind of the same defense, just a bit weaker in my opinion. Like if you look at teams around them, I think they just got weaker. Who they got off the bench? They had Pino, Evan Gesson they've got back, and Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu might be all right. Don't know if it strengthens them. I just feel like they're a little bit. I don't know. I don't know what it is about Palace. I just don't really gain a good vibe from Palace that they're going to do that well this year. I think they're going to really struggle. Be interesting to see. So they're linked with some players in. So let's look at the most recent ones. We've got Adopo, we've got Magassa, we've got Denoy, we've got NG, we've got Chibi. Even Solly March was linked with going in there. But no one really. Well, this is why I'm worried about Palace because you look at their departures and you've got Daniel Munoz talked about leaving, Ismail Assar. Uh, Two of probably the biggest players they've got at Palace, and that would really worry me. So for me, it's a case of like this is probably going to be before transfers come in their main 11. Um, Now I don't know much about PSAs. I don't know if he's going to be a good coach, bad coach. Sorry, I don't know what he's going to bring, but they certainly looked really poor. I mean, if you look at the stats from Saturday, it literally explains it. Like they did control the game, but they didn't make much of their chances. Like Everton were all over the top of it. Strange. But then it's a tough game, isn't it, Everton? Like, let's be honest. Everton away is always going to be a tough game. Because Everton are good at home. They've got some good players. Dewsbury Hall's a great player. NDI is a good player. And we're going to go to Everton later on. But I think Everton are going to be one of the stronger teams division. So the fact they've lost to them, it's kind of not that deep in a sense. But my biggest worry would be losing Ismail Assar and Munoz. I think Munoz would be a huge side loss because then they've also got to replace that right wing back. And it's really hard to replace wing backs because there aren't that many natural wing backs around in the world at the moment. There's a lot of full backs, but I wouldn't say wing backs, um, especially at Palace's level. So I'm thinking about the budget that they'd be able to spend. So it'd be interesting to see how they do with that. The rest of if I'm looking at uh, the rest of it's all right. What would I buy? So let's go through the team. I think that's where I'm going to go because with Palace is an interesting one. So I'm obviously going to Dean Henson, obviously most expensive player because he's goalkeeper. He's on the England but doesn't really play for England, but he is around and about the England squad. So there is that. Now the other thing I was going to work out: do Palace have international fixtures this year? Do they have? Are they in Europe? I'm just going to alert you something I've just seen as well. No, they're not this year. So they haven't got Euro to focus on, which is good, I suppose. Kind of gives them a little bit of a breathing space. I actually thought they did have Europe. Why did I think they had Europe? I don't know. But they don't. And interestingly, I've just read that Man City approach for Adam Wharton. Oh my word! If they lose Adam Wharton as well, I'd actually make Palace one of the favourite teams to go down. To be brutally honest, they've had a centre half go off injured, with stretchered off with serious knee injury, so that's another defender gone. They're in a lot of trouble, Palace. Like, I don't see the value here personally. Dean Henson for £34 though could end up making a lot of saves and might not be a bad keeper to get if you were thinking about a mixed squad across the leagues for a budget. If you go and look at my live, by the way, in the last I did a mixed um, squad on a pretty much a £130 budget. I said 100, but I went to 130. But yeah, now this is really tricky because initially I would have gone, yeah, go straight to Daniel Munoz because he is a great player. But if he goes, I mean, I don't know who you go with. Tyreek Mitchell, Canvot will play a lot. Is there anyone there in Instapot that I'm forgetting about? No. So yeah, I'll probably go Canvot. To be brutally honest with you, I think he's your safest bet at £16, or Tyreek Mitchell because he plays the wing back role. So yeah, that's who I go with in defence. But again, I don't really particularly like this Palace stat this year. Now, I'm going to say something a bit controversial here. I'd go Adam Morton because if you are looking at a Palace stack, right, and you get Adam Morton, he stays, you know he's going to score well. He does score well. He's scored well through the seasons. He'll always be a pretty solid scorer. Not your best scorer, but solid. You could go Kamada. He's not a bad player either. He has the opportunity to score really high. But one thing Adam Morton is, if he does get that move to Man City, you will make a hell of a lot of money on this £14 that is currently because there is no way that he will sit at £14 playing for Manchester City. Not a chance. So it's whether you want to look at it the way you want to stick with your Palace stat. If you want to just go Palace, then your safe bet's Kamada because you know he's going to play every game and he's staying. If you go Adam Morton, you've got that potential that he might move to Man City, which in so rare terms that wouldn't be a terrible thing because he could end up actually making you a lot of money, if you know what I mean. Like, as in, like, he could actually end up making you money through going to a better team and actually scoring better. I think he'll score better at City, so that's definitely something to think about. And then my forwards would be, well, for me, it'd be Mateta and McNeil. I'd probably go two here. I'd actually go McNeil and Mateta. So I think these two are going to definitely start. Obviously, I would have gone with Ismail Sarr, but he's going to go by the sounds of it. So I would, yeah. I mean, look at that, £19 for two starting forwards. That's pretty good, isn't it? In so rare 27 these days, like you think how much money is spent on so rare. That's actually pretty good. So just so we confirm, my five would be Dean Henson in goal. I'm probably going to go JD Camphor at defence just because I don't. I think it's a bit actually, no, I'll go Tyree Mitchell because he's got that chance as a win back. So I go Dean Henson goal, Tyree Mitchell. My midfielder's going to be Adam Wharton because I think he's got that Man City chance. And if he doesn't, he's still a good midfielder anyway, staying. And then my two extra players are going to be McNeil and Mateta. So yeah, that's my Palace team. I'd avoid unless you're a Palace fan, obviously. I'm sorry if you are a Palace fan and you're watching this. But I do really worry for Palace unless they make significant signings towards the end of the window, which I hope they do because I think they're a good team. I like them in the Premier League. They actually play good football. I'm intrigued to see what the new manager brings PSH because he did a great job last year. I think it was Lens last year and he did a great job. So yeah, I hope you liked the video. If you did like it, make sure you like, subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Thanks.